So, welcome back. Another episode of Turn Up the Mic. I'm Chris. To my right, I got Roy.
What's up? What's up? What's up? How you holding up, Chris?
I'm doing good, Roy.
How's it been? What, 2 weeks? How you doing?
Has it been 2 weeks? Did we
Yeah, we
record
weren't here
last week?
last week. No,
Why not?
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember.
Was it a holiday? It
No,
was a holiday, Labor Day.
it was Labor Day,
But
but
it wasn't
I
because
doubt
of
that's
that.
the reason.
Yeah.
Did we get a paid day off here?
I don't know. For like Joe right now, I'm confused.
Yeah. Why didn't I don't remember at all.
Yeah. Huh.
Damn.
Anyway, well, here we are today. We were able to find the place. How's your week going? Sober?
Yeah, it's a good week. Off. Weekend starts now.
Nice.
I work Saturday, so weekend starts now. So enjoyed the week. It was decent weather for the most part. It was good. It was good weather.
It's quite regular.
It was not regular when you wake up in the 60s, 70s, and the highs were like high 80s.
I feel like people that work like later in the day probably didn't even notice it because they don't get up that early. They just sleep through it. Because
I go in at 3. I got to spend a little time outside.
it's pretty hot by like 12.
Not your regular hot, not your 90 something.
I was pretty drenched by that time, but it is what it is.
Yep.
So yeah, we got some new music that came out, and then we got some decent music. It was an okay drops.
Decent?
It was okay week for like music that came out, but I didn't really listen to any drops this week. It was still like music from the week prior.
Yeah, there was a lot. There's a lot of names. The biggest name that dropped was NBA YoungBoy.
Yeah, I didn't get to
And
it.
I don't know. Like I'll listen to it for the show.
Yeah,
But the last time I heard the last album, I forgot the name of it. Whenever it dropped, I listened to it. I just couldn't get into it. And he has a big ass following. Like he has a
does.
following, and it's just, I don't know. You don't like everyone that you listen to. He's just one of those I just couldn't get into.
yeah, his following is definitely infectious. But I can't get into his music either. Like, it's not really his accent, it's more of like his content. And I feel like I've heard that a lot. So it wasn't really an album that I was checking for.
Yeah.
I'll probably check it out eventually. It's just not on my radar.
It's one of those I'll watch like the music videos that pop up on YouTube, and that's about it.
Yeah. What else dropped? I listened to a little bit of B.O.B.'s album.
I saw that. Has it been a while?
Yeah, he's one of the few artists that I listen to music that I don't really expect music from, you know?
The only thing I remember I can't name his albums at all. I remember he did Airplanes, right? Was that him? That did Airplanes.
It was either him or a collab with T.I. I want to say.
Airplanes wasn't with T.I.
Or the MIA people.
Was it? Airplanes was with that chick from Paramore.
The Prego guy?
From
Prego
Paramore,
chick?
wasn't the chick
I thought
from
her
Paramore?
group was MIA.
Maybe. I don't know. I thought Airplanes was with that chick from Paramore. It could be, or Flyleaf. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, it's a B.O.B. song.
Who's it featuring?
Haley Williams.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, I didn't get through the whole album. It was also not really boring, but I wasn't really wowed by it. So it was just a bad week for me, music-wise. It just didn't wow me.
I kind of like that. I like that these weeks are grouped together sometimes because there was like 6 album drops that I saw, 5, 6. Like get them out of the way, so like other weeks, other people can drop. Don't have to worry about it.
No. And then you got the week prior, which was a better week. Big Sean dropped Detroit 2. I thought it was good. It was nice. It was what I expected from like a Big Sean.
It was a little more deep. It was Big Sean 7 years ago, 8 years ago ish.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, when it comes to like content wise, it definitely wasn't like the I Decided style.
It reminded me of Dark Skies Paradise a little bit. That was his last one, right? Or was I Decided his last one?
No, I Decided wasn't his last one.
I think Dark Skies was his last one.
No, which one was the Metro Boomin one?
I don't count a collab because
it's his. Metro Boomin just did the beats.
Was he on all those songs?
Yes, he was. It's
his album. You said it like unsuringly.
No, I said it. I'm reassured it's him.
Okay.
No, that's his last album. If you look up his catalog, that's under him.
Yeah. So Dark Skies, damn, that was in 2015.
So what's his last one?
I don't even know. It's maybe I Decided was
I decided it was like 2016, 17. What was it?
I don't know. 2017. So it
Okay.
was, I guess that was his last one minus the collab
No, you
with the
have the one
producer
that he released. Oh yeah, the Metro Boomin came out late that year in December.
Without Warning, right?
Yeah,
That was like he put out two in one year
yeah,
basically.
and then
Okay.
Metro Boomin was the last one because that was like
That's
literally
crazy.
December.
He hasn't put out music in forever. He's like Kendrick
Did
Lamar
you see the that I sent you an interview? I forgot who did it, but it was really good. Like he talked about a lot of stuff,
with
and
Big Sean.
yeah, it was Big Sean. He talked about how he went through like a lot of ups and downs. He felt like at a lot of moments in the last couple of years, not this recent year, so like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
he felt like he was done with music. He didn't feel anymore. He didn't have the motivation. He talked about he was kind of like he didn't know what to write.
Yeah.
Like he loved music, but he didn't know how to like make his music. And he said he started therapy, and a lot of these musicians talk about therapy, man. Like it
Well,
helps them. But yeah, he said after talking it out and doing all this, he found his way back to loving it. So
Big Sean is a really good person to interview too because he is pretty open.
yeah, he's pretty open, and I do like and saying that none of his interviews he
Like
takes
repeats
over,
itself
but
either.
he never takes over the interviews to where it's like there wasn't any, because you see artists where they take over interviews, so there was really no questions asked because the artists just take
Like
over.
filibuster.
Yeah, they're
like
like
Kanye.
they just take over questions, and they're like,
Yeah.
well, that's time. Well, we only asked one question, so like,
Well, appreciate you coming through.
That's your 30 minutes. Like I gave you 30
Yeah,
minutes.
it's like it's very genuine. I've seen two of his interviews that I thought were really good. The one where he was doing the wings and he had the Jeepers Creepers braids.
Oh, that was yeah.
And then he did another one. It was kind of like an MTV Cribs type thing where he's taking you around his
Yeah.
house and he's talking about like the different stuff that he eats and all this other stuff. And each one of them, they were different, but they were pretty introspective as to like the type of person that he is, you
Yeah.
know? And I really appreciate that. And then as far as the whole music thing, I could see that because I can see that like for Kendrick Lamar as well. Because I feel like they're one of those rappers that you put at the top and you
Mhm.
expect a lot more than like an NBA young boy, you know?
Yeah, I mean, his music has Big Sean. His music has emotion into it. It has content.
Yeah.
So, I with somebody delivering that type of music to me, I wouldn't expect a dead interview.
Right.
Where they talk about their money or their change. That's it. Like I wouldn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
So
like I forgot who I was talking to about it, but as far as like category raps, so I put Big Sean in a category of like inspirational mental health type rap. You know, when you want those inspirational vibes and stuff
yeah,
to get better or be productive in life. That's what I
Mhm.
look for like when I need those vibes. Drake I listen to for like feels. If you want
Yeah.
to be like in your feelings,
Bro,
it's definitely
like
Drake.
I agree with you 100%. But every time I said that, y'all would come at me for saying that.
It's how you said it, but we're not talking about
It's
that.
how I said
Yeah.
it. There's a different way to say
Yeah.
Drake is for your feels.
Right.
Okay.
And then like
Just
I
defer,
put
but
I
okay.
put Kendrick Lamar in the box of like black like empowerment basically because he's like definitely in that lane. And then I like J. Cole for me is like one of those weird ones. He's like a hybrid.
He is. He's like Big Sean and Kendrick. Like his music gets me.
I wouldn't really put him towards see, it's like hybrid. So you
Yeah.
can even argue that too.
Yeah, because his music, first of all, like his songs, he releases an album and it'll hit you both ways with different songs.
Yeah.
Where you have the empowerment where it gets you thinking, but he also takes a step back to where he's like, just let me be positive and tell you how you can grow and all that. So, but he's in between, and that's why to me, he's one of my top right now.
Yeah.
He needs more music, but he's one of the top.
I feel like with all the tops minus Drake, we need more music from them, and it seems like they don't really put out a lot. I think it's the demand.
This is what I was talking to with a friend about this. That do you think that helps them stay on top? Not from the fan point of view. I'm talking about wearing themselves out, putting music out that they necessarily might not like, or like they're not trying to rush their methods. Like they put it out when they're ready.
I think it's good and bad because of course you're putting out new music, but then I think it's going to be critiqued even more heavily than if you would have put out like 2 projects in 2 years.
Yeah.
So I think it's a gift and a curse. Like the game, he doesn't put out music a lot, but we don't hold him to that high of a standard anymore. You know?
I think with nowadays, I think with streaming, the capability of streaming in YouTube, I feel like the Kendricks, well now Big Sean's, with he would what 4 year gap,
Yeah.
and Big Sean did a good job at this, like staying relevant, not staying relevant, but just being in the public eye with a feature or a single here and there.
No.
I think that's the way to kind of just keep attention.
Yeah. Did you listen to Kendrick had some songs leak a little bit?
I didn't get to listen. I saw you post it.
Yeah.
I didn't get to listen to it.
I listened to a couple of them. It's hard to say because I feel like they're like when Drake dropped some of those leaks, some of them were hit and miss. They're like unpolished, so it's hard to really judge it. It kind of sounds like To Pimp a Butterfly a little bit,
but it's hard to judge because you have no idea. First of all, we don't know like the origin of these leaks, like were they leak on purpose? You know how people do stuff,
Yeah.
But if it's like an actual leak, it could have been a throwaway. It could have been, so it's like
it sounds
it's
like
something
that a little bit.
The artist or Kendrick didn't even want us to judge or listen to because he wasn't happy for it.
Yeah, and then there was this other song. I didn't get to listen to the full song, but he's like kind of singing. So it feels also like he's going the Andre 3000 route where he's not just rapping, he's like doing instruments and making like songs and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And I can't really judge it because I haven't heard it yet. So
and it's
kind of made me more excited
and
to
it's
hear
a leak.
it. Yeah. So if you haven't looked it up, go searching for the Kendrick Lamar leaks if they haven't been removed. And then so what'd you give this album?
I gave it an 8.
Okay, that's fair. I gave it an 8 too.
So I think, where do you hold Big Sean? I think me and you kind of agree on this. Like, he doesn't have a classic album.
I don't think so either.
He has. I think he is one of the most consistent.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a bad album that I just wouldn't listen to. All of his albums have some type of replay value.
They all do, yeah.
But none of them just like hold that classic status, in my opinion, where it's the clear cut winner of his whole catalog. It message wise, content wise, like the flow of it, he just doesn't have that classic completely polished album for me.
I don't know why that is though. It feels like maybe it's just missing something,
Yeah,
maybe it's a producer or something. Maybe I don't know what it is.
It is like I don't know, like there's just not that album that's gonna be 10 years from now that people are still gonna talk about the release of it, because it's just he hasn't had a release where it's like this is album of the year automatically and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would say Dark Skies is probably his best project.
I like that one too.
Revisit. I decided
a lot of people say that. And for me, I'm a big fan of the older stuff, like Detroit Wind or like the Finally Famous volume, like mixtapes. Like those are my
prime rapping Big Sean.
Not the Finally Famous album, but like the Finally Famous mixtapes.
Yeah,
that was like that's when I first got introduced to Big Sean. Finally Mixtape Volume 3, when it was who produced it? Mike Posner produced it.
I don't know.
I think he was or Mike Wilmate. I don't know, one of them.
So was Detroit One a mixtape?
Yes, it's a mixtape.
Okay.
So he actually talked about it in the interview.
I don't think
he said he talked about it. He said that he released it. It was a mixtape, but he said he released Detroit 2, the album, because he said he put so much work into Detroit 1 that in his eyes it was an album. But because of the way you release music when it comes to clearances and blah, blah, it was a mixtape. But the work he put into it, he said that in his eyes that's his album.
Gotcha.
Which is interesting because nowadays you can label it what you want, like label it an
like
album,
a playlist,
bro, label it an album.
Yeah, I think I put this one up there as like top 3. Has he only had 3 like actual albums released?
No,
I don't know.
No, he had. This is 4.
I put this top 3 then.
No, because he has I Decided, Dark Sky Paradise, Finally Famous, the Metro Booming one, this one. That's 5 already that I named.
Okay, yeah, I put this one top 3. This is definitely better than the Metro Boomin one.
I like the Metro Boomin one a lot.
I replayed it, even though it's like one producer for the most part. It didn't feel like a Big Sean album. It felt like a mixtape.
I think that's why I liked it, because when I listened to it, I was like, man, two Big Sean albums in 1 year. But
Yeah,
that was a different vibe.
yeah. It
Like
felt like
riding around, windows down vibe.
it felt like it was like a Metro Boomin first project with Big Sean feature to me. I didn't really. It was cool, but yeah,
Yeah.
it just didn't. It wasn't like one of my favorites from him.
I'll take that one. I'll take Dark Sky Paradise.
Yeah, I put that
Metro,
one
the
as
Metro
one.
Booming one.
You put that one as 2 over I
And
Decided.
then I decided,
Mm.
and then this one.
Yeah, it was probably be number 3. Nah, yeah, it's like a fight between 2 and 3 for me.
But
Detroit 2.
I don't know about you, but my least favorite album is Finally Famous.
Yeah, I think that was him just still finding his rhythm and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you got Tekashi 6ix9ine. He dropped the Tattletales. I don't think anybody else is talking about this album.
So we're in this like Facebook music group. Chris posted it.
Nah,
All the comments were, why are you giving them screens? Why are you listening?
Right?
Why are you doing this?
First of all,
why?
I didn't even know the album came out until somebody else posted it first, and I was like, wait a minute.
And I didn't know it came out till Chris sent me the list for the show today, and it's on there. I was like, what are we doing?
I was like, that really dropped under that name? Like that, if it wasn't gonna flop, once he put that name out, it definitely helped make it flop even more.
Yeah, it's too much on it. Like the Tattletale, the rat. Like,
yeah,
I understand the play on it in the music videos because that's graphics.
Yeah, and it looked decent.
Yeah, but like album name stuff, you're playing on it too much. And like, can you walking up to a grown man? Hey, what are you listening to? Tattles.
I'm listening to Tales. What? Yeah,
like it was just like nah. Like I don't know. I don't know anyone that was looking forward to it except you.
I wasn't even.
I don't know
looking forward
anyone
to
that
it.
listened to it except myself because of you.
Yeah. I wasn't really looking forward to it though. Like I told you, what was it? The second, he only had like 2 hits before. I told you once I heard the Locked Up sample thing, it was gonna flop,
bro. Like talk about the Locked Up.
He starts with the Locked Up,
but this fool used the sample twice. And I don't know if I was checking. I was like, it's in my head. Is it twice? And I looked it up.
Yeah.
He used it twice. He used it on GDL or something. Or, he used it twice. Like,
I didn't notice.
He paid for that sample. Like I said, I'm gonna use the hell out of it. I paid for it.
Like, he starts with Locked Up Part 2. That song was trash immediately. Yeah. And I was like, oh wow, this might not be a good album.
But so that was your thought listening to Locked Up 2, or your intro to it, right?
Yeah.
What was your expectation of the album?
I thought it was gonna be more of like the aggressive rap, like his last album. I thought, I just thought it was gonna be overall like that. I think he did try a lot to sample different stuff, like try different things, like the Spanish record and stuff. But overall, it was a bad album. I think I had like 4 or 5 songs that I liked.
There was only one. It was the one that was with Left Side, the one that had like the dancehall vibe.
The Nini one?
Yeah, it has the dancehall vibe. That's the only one that was decent for me. And other than that, completely honest, the whole rest of the album is unmemorable. I don't remember.
Like looking at the track list, I think I liked the 2-2 song. I'm not sure. The Gooba one, that's a good one. Trolls, I liked. Nini, I think I liked. Yaya, I think I liked. And maybe another one that I can't remember. But everything else was definitely skips. Like, it was bad.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. But initially, it was projected to sell 100,000 to 150, a little higher than Big Sean's. But it looks like it's about to be 45 to 50.
So I want to know where these expectations came from, because I normally see the like their projections after day 1 of sales.
Mm-hmm. You don't see these projections before?
No, normally it's after day 1, after the Friday, because nowadays the way Spotify and Apple work, they can tell you first day listens, and that's a good projection of how it's gonna go.
I think with him, he's a little different since he doesn't have like the normal advertising. He's doing it all by himself, and based on like I guess the numbers from what they were getting from like his YouTube videos and stuff, minus his millions of boosts that he injected, it looked like it could do numbers. So I guess they were basing it off of that. But Yeah, it's not looking good.
But this tells you that in the music industry that YouTube is a whole different game than albums. Like it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different content. Like YouTube, you're gonna have people that don't even care about the music, watch the music video because it's trending and what have you.
Yeah.
But actually pulling out your phone, searching the album, going to go listen to it. That's a whole different thing, and it just didn't translate.
Yeah, and then also, you know how like usually when it's a new album, it pops up on like the see first area of your playlist or your streaming service.
Well,
It,
not from. I mean, on Spotify, it only pops up on artists I'm following or artists that are
oh,
listed in the similar to people I follow.
oh, that's ghetto.
How?
I see why Joe left. Anyway, so with Tidal and Apple, it shows you like new albums that have came out. So if you're not
I mean, I can
really
go to the new release section.
well, also ghetto. So on Apple and Tidal, it's already there for you. So you're scrolling down, it goes to the new section that you pass. You're like, oh, this person I've never heard of. Let me check this out. I guess on Spotify you got to dig a little.
I just go to new release box and it shows me all the new
Yeah,
releases.
ain't no boxes over here, Playboy. It's just scrolling. Look,
But my home screen is tailored to me and what I
okay,
like.
that's cool. But yeah, so it wasn't on there, so I think that hurt him as well. He had everything working against him. So I'm not really surprised. He is quiet now. It sounds like he's gone underground.
I think he put too much. At this point, who did he signed to? Rick? Who's he signed to?
He sound I forgot who it was, but they put a
Was
lot of
it
money
10
in.
million or something?
They put a lot of money into him.
Like
I
you're not
hope
getting it back right now.
I don't think they recouped it.
They're gonna be like, you're gonna give us your YouTube sales. like screw the album sales. Give us
Yeah,
your YouTube sales.
That's crazy. And like I don't think he can afford that lifestyle much longer.
Nah.
You're flopping, you're going plastic, and then you got like your Jamaicans like you're running around with like Russ, but you can't afford them. So yeah, I think this might be the last we hear about him. Do you think he can make another song or bounce back?
I think he's definitely gonna try. He's gonna release something. He's gonna do something.
Like
But
do you think
I
he
don't
can
think
make
he's
a
not.
you don't think so? Yeah, I don't think so either.
Especially after this release, it's just confirmation he still sucks at music.
It's like the ice bucket challenge, the dab, all of those fads went away eventually. And I think the 6ix9ine train has stopped.
Yep.
So well, it was good while it lasted. And then you got Tory Lanez speaking out about the shooting of Meg the Stallion. So his story was he was drunk.
Bro, that's so like bad.
Like speaking of somebody who went underground, went into hiding for a while. Like, bruh, this is the best you came up with. You were drunk. That like, have you been that drunk, Roy? Where you shot somebody?
No.
Oh, okay.
Bro, like that was just. I'm sorry. This is my do over. I was drunk.
And it wasn't even like. Apparently, he texted her. He didn't say it to her on the phone or anything. He just sent the text.
Up through text.
That's so lazy. Like I thought Canadians were like good people.
He probably said "I'm sorry" in caps.
Like, yeah, that's the laziest way to say sorry for shooting somebody.
Right.
But
you know what? This not to. I mean, of course, it wasn't on purpose, but
he didn't shoot her on purpose.
No, it wasn't on purpose. But this has helped Meg when it comes to, I think, like being known in the world. Like, because now, like, I'm pretty sure more people heard of her name outside of music now.
Yeah,
that don't follow her and stuff like that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I asked the question, do you think she can be as big as Rihanna? And they were like, no. Okay. Can I interest you in Nicki Minaj?
Yeah, definitely.
You think she'd be as big as Nicki?
Definitely.
I don't think anybody's been as big as... I don't think Cardi's been big as Nicki yet.
So, you know me, I'm not the biggest Nicki fan. I think she can be as big as Nicki. I think she can be as big as Rihanna when it comes to known, but I don't think she'll ever make music up to par with Rihanna. Like she can be a household name, like not household name Rihanna, but to that star platform, but she'll never make music up to that par.
So you think Rihanna? I don't think so. Nicki, that's a big though. Nicki had 10 years?
10 years, but Nicki's like, she's not doing her career good right now, man. She's she's fizzling
We
out.
all fizzle. The dab. I just said that.
No, but like you see it with her, and it's like,
yeah, she going out
like,
mad.
We're like, stop, just like, isn't she pregnant, right?
Yeah,
like you have an excuse to like hide for
like,
a while.
She's like the new what's the guy? She's the new Nate Dogg. She's like a feature artist.
Wow,
but like,
bro, don't diss Nate Dogg like
how's that a diss? Was Nate Dogg not a feature artist?
Leave 213 alone.
I don't understand. But anyway, like she's a feature artist now, and I think she's going outside. But minus her exit, her entrance and holding the seat has been very well.
What's worse for her is that, first of all, she hasn't had the best collabs recently, and also collab artists that she's doing it with. But she's had some like life choices that are in the public eye that's just not helping either.
Yeah,
so it's more than her music not being there; it's also her like public life and what's coming out about it.
Just, I don't know if she can do numbers anymore.
No, but like I said, congrats, she's pregnant. That's gonna be good for her that gives her a reason for her to kind of reset herself and see if she can do something later in a couple of years.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And then the new versus battle has been announced. Patti LaBelle versus Gladys Knight. Are we too young? Well, are we young enough or too old for this? Like, is this like an age
you should
battle?
know them.
I don't know their songs.
I was laughing at the promotion though, because it said on Sunday, keep your church clothes on for the battle, and then like it says keep your church clothes on, presented by Ciroc.
Yeah, this seems like an ageist battle.
This feels like a fill-in. Like it's a fill-in between like you. If you give me this, the next one better be big.
You talking about when Plies had to turn into what's his name and do the church one?
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know none of their songs. Like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Those are the names that you're not gonna know. Like these are two artists where you're not gonna know the song names per se, but
yeah.
But when you listen to, like, if you watch the verses, you're gonna be like, oh, I've heard that song. I heard that song.
Like, their music came out on tape. Like,
I know.
What's getting me is like everybody on my timeline is getting hyped from that. Like, shut up. You're the same age as me. You don't know those songs. Like, what are we talking about? What is it? 12 for 12 or how many songs they get? 20?
20. They're not gonna last.
Like 20?
I mean,
we gotta start this thing early.
I expect a lot of playing, like the DJ playing. And
it's gonna be a lot of lip syncing and arm waving. Like, they bones gonna be hurting. Like, this ain't for us. Yeah, and then
so is this a good job for verses? As in, they are expanding their the artists that they look at, like they look at everybody, all generations.
I mean, it's not really all generation. What are you talking about, age?
All types of music.
Because it's only been like hip hop. This is all like black culture.
Yeah, like, but this is older.
Technically, they ain't really stepped out.
Like, I guess age. Like they're expanding their age.
This was surprising to me, if anything. Yeah. Like, and then the church one was surprising. So I mean, they are keeping it, keeping it fresh.
But they chose, when it comes to the church one, they chose people that are pretty known. Like,
yeah, like they're known too. They haven't picked up any bad names, but it's just like it's surprising when they pick them. But yeah, like, how far can they go with this thing? What's next? Taylor Swift and Beyonce? Like, who's next on the list? Like,
bro, that would do numbers though. Like, that would like do that would do numbers.
It would be so uneven. But yeah, I'd like to see it. It would be so awkward.
I will, if that happens, I will bet whoever wants, they will break every stream record of how many people go in.
Who would you attribute that to breaking the records though? Too, would it be Beyonce or would it be Taylor?
Bro, they both got a following like crazy. They both got stands that will kill you.
Like, can you imagine somebody's being like, "Yeah, I think Taylor won that one."
Like,
how?
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know what would be more lit than the verses is the comment section during it.
Shake It Off versus Drunken Love.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
And you know what sucks? Like, I wouldn't care the winners because I don't like follow both of them.
Yeah, man, I don't know. That'd be so. That's the most.
But they would break every.
Yeah, record, most lopsided versus to do the biggest numbers. But
And
yeah,
then if they start doing Taylor's early country stuff,
yeah. But then what intermission in between the songs? You know how people start
yeah,
talking. I remember, you. What was that? DMX said Snoop Dogg inspired him to do stuff.
yeah.
Like, what do they got in common?
The only thing gonna do in common is when Kanye took the.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
So how's Kanye? I don't know. We don't talk to him. Like,
That's
okay,
the
next
only
song.
thing.
Does Taylor Swift have a DJ? Or she just got
I don't
somebody that
know.
press play on the
She's gonna
iPod
be
Shuffle?
like, I'm gonna need a band. What's the DJ?
Like, who is he? That's so crazy.
You know, I could. So you tell me I can do this at my concerts?
Yeah. So I don't know what would be the best like verses after this. Like, where do we go? Because they're already like on Apple Music now, where you can watch the live versus thing.
That's cool.
It's very convenient.
That's cool.
So
And it's way. I assume you're not watching like Instagram feed style. You're watching like
yeah, I
documentary.
think Apple
Good.
got their own camera in there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So shout out to Versus. They really came a long way.
I wonder who would be a good one that would like break records. I think Drake and Kanye would.
Drake's not going in the room with him. That's
No, I
helping
mean,
Kanye out.
All this is hypothetical. I think that would break
It
records.
would be so boring though.
How?
He talks too much. Like,
Bro,
all he's gonna do is talk.
he'll hype you up. You just said Drake is for your feelings. Like everyone's gonna be watching in the fields.
Drake's gonna put on a performance. Kanye's just gonna talk.
Kanye's gonna put on performance too,
He's
bro.
gonna filibuster.
Bro.
He talks so
He's gonna
much.
start with Jesus Walks.
Okay.
To set the tone.
He's like, let me cut that off real quick. Let me tell you how he came up with this. He's
Yeah.
gonna start with Jesus Walk and end with the Gap deal. Like, how do we get where we are?
And then he's gonna talk about he goes back to Nike when no one's talking about. He's gonna go back to Nike. I'm telling you.
He's gonna look at
the
Drake's
signs
feet.
are there.
He's gonna look at Drake's feet, see them Jordans. He's like, speaking of Nike, like,
Yeah.
come on now.
I'm gonna make my own music video with Jordan.
Yeah, like, it don't make no sense. Like, I wouldn't watch that. No offense to Drake, but yeah.
No offense to Drake.
But anyway, yeah. Oh, is it like they were fighting? Switching the spots. I guess we're getting our football back.
Bro, I'm so ready for football to be back. Like I was hyped Thursday to see a freaking football game. I was excited.
It looks like Kansas City beat the Texans, foggy face shield and all.
Can you imagine when like on the monitor on the radio, what play we calling? Have fun.
Hold on, hold your horses.
No, like he just told Patrick Mahomes, have fun.
Yeah,
Like,
it looked very easy to him. I thought they were gonna have like the whole Super Bowl hangover. That ain't the case.
but I mean, the biggest reason is they added a run game.
Yeah,
Like,
and he's slowing the game down too.
I mean, first of all, if you saw the game, Mahomes did his thing, but he did overthrow a little bit. He did some noticeable overthrows.
Yeah, 0 interceptions.
But I mean, we're talking about just looking at like a missed targets, and he had a couple.
I mean, nobody's perfect.
No, he's not. But but I'm saying that I think the run game really helped him too, because
Yeah.
he didn't have to like right away go back to last year. Like the run game last year, they were the first Super Bowl team I think that averaged under 25 carries.
They had and like what I was saying was instead of throwing like super long passes, he's slowing it down and doing it with more.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
So
he's adding to his game basically.
I'm curious how the rest of the year is going to go with Sammy Watkins, because last year he had 3 touchdowns opening on the opening game.
Yeah.
This year and the rest of the year he had 0 touchdowns and he wasn't as active, and he wasn't hurt. This year he had a touchdown and he was really active, and I felt like for his touchdown they wanted him to have the touchdown because he scored a touchdown, then they took it away because he wasn't across the goal line.
Yeah.
And then what did they do the next 2 plays? They give it to him to try to score, and he scored. Like they're basically like, this is your touchdown, we're going to give it to you.
Yeah.
So
that sucks because you can see it and you can't do nothing to stop it.
Yeah, and
like,
it's like me, like, are they going to do that on purpose? Because they do that on purpose. Did they really put them in the game like that? Then you have 3 receivers you have to worry about, or 2 receivers and tight end, and the running game. That's just it's really hard to do back-to-back Super Bowls in the NFL.
Yeah,
but that little change and let's just see if they continue the run game.
Right.
I think that clear favorites, and that's like, I don't think who's gonna stop them.
I don't know. He's apparently he's 8-0 in September.
8-0 September.
Nice. He's also it's also his birthday month. So
that's why.
Yeah, he's like You ain't finna take away my happiness.
Now, flip side, the Texans. I did like what I saw a little bit. Deshaun Watson. You saw him try to throw the ball out a little faster,
Hmm.
and you don't know if that's by design or he's like, this year I'm not going to be sacked 1,000 times.
They're the top two highest paid, or going to be the highest paid quarterbacks, right?
Hmm. But it's really good for him. We're trying to get the ball out quicker because, man, he takes a beating. Like,
Yeah.
he gets sacked a lot, and it's not fun. Like, they're like, so it's like you're paying me not to throw, but to get sacked. Like,
Yeah, that's
so for
crazy.
him to work on getting the ball out faster, that's really good, and I think it'll help. Um, Looking at the trade, because it's the first time you really well for me, like looking at the trade, because
Mhm.
they trade Hopkins and then you got David Johnson.
Yeah,
Um, I don't think it was a bad, like, name wise. I don't like the trade. I don't think it was a fair trade name wise.
like
Like,
even without the name, I think like for like, I don't think they're the same.
yeah, I mean, just I'm talking about talent wise. I mean, Hopkins is way better than David Johnson right now,
Yeah,
but I feel like it works. It's gonna work out because I call it the Texans can spread the ball out. They got Randall Cobb. They didn't really integrate him as much to the second half. He still got Fuller, so I feel like they still got some weapons where they can move the ball. You're not gonna have, you know, 60-yard deep ball, but you can move the ball, which that's all you need.
yeah,
And now they finally have a better running back. So we'll see. I mean, there's some good things you saw, but Kansas City Chiefs just they look like they're gonna dominate the league
yeah.
again.
They still look good. What team? Because you picked the who's your pick for the season to win the Super Bowl?
Kansas City.
So you're not going with the Cowboys?
No,
I thought I asked you this in chat.
no, I think I think it's gonna be Kansas City versus Dallas in the Super Bowl.
So you, so you, I hate you. So now you're switching. So you're okay. So you don't think Cowboys are gonna be Super Bowl winners? You think Kansas City is?
Yes, but they're gonna face each other in the Super Bowl.
Interesting. Okay.
So who do you have winning the AFC?
I don't know. I guess it seems.
I can just help you with Kansas City, unless you don't think they are.
Yeah, I go. Sure. So I think Buccaneers are gonna win.
The the Buccaneers are in the NFC.
Tampa Bay. I think they're gonna win the Super Bowl. That's gonna be
I
my
don't see
pick.
it. I just don't see it. I don't see Tom Brady doing it. I don't. I just don't see it. Looking at last year, yes, they won, but Tom Brady didn't look amazing.
So
So I just don't see it. Now they give him a lot of weapons. Um, so I want to see how Gronk is now. He's back. Is he going to take a while to get back, or is he back now? Like, he's going to be the Gronk we know, because that's a big target for Tom Brady. Well, you have him, Mike Evans. I don't even know, because they added everybody. Then they signed the running back. Who did they sign?
I forgot.
Oh my god, I forgot.
And then
They signed a running back now. So
there was a left tackle that they got too.
yeah.
Forgot who that was.
So, but yeah, I see. But in the NFC East, Cowboys, I got Cowboys. NFC West, I got the Cardinals this year over the 49ers and the Rams or the Seahawks. I think Kyler Murray is going to do really good. I think he's going to be good. In the
Okay.
NFC North, I'm going to go with the Packers.
Okay.
And NFC South, I'm going to go with the Saints over the
Oh, you got your
Tampa
thing
Bay
up.
Buccaneers.
Okay.
So AFC East, I'm gonna go with the Bills. I like the Bills.
I do too. I think they're gonna do well.
AFC West, Chiefs. AFC North, Ravens. I do think we're gonna see a better Steelers team this year, though. AFC South.
What's the name coming back for the Steelers?
Ben, their quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. Yeah, and then like their receiver was named Juju.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a good year. And the AFC South, I think the Titans are gonna win the division again.
That's good. So you got about what 9 games tomorrow?
That's just I think it should be 11. You have
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm talking about 12.
okay.
Yeah, total is gonna be like 11. So which like top 3 games that you're most excited to watch?
Well, Cowboys and Rams,
Okay.
of course. I am excited to see the Cardinals and 49ers.
Mm.
I want to see them because I want to see. I think they both have a lot to prove this year.
Okay.
So that's gonna set the tone a lot. Um, Raiders and Panthers. Kind
Okay.
of want to see how Teddy Bridgewater does there.
I forgot he got traded or he went there.
Yeah,
That's good. So I'm excited to see the Buccaneers and the Saints.
that's a good one.
Two old guys going at it. I got
Who's home?
I don't know.
Saints. Oh yeah,
Uh
Saints on the bottom, so they're
yeah.
home.
I got Cowboys and Rams. That's a good game I'm gonna watch. And Dolphins and Patriots.
Dolphins and Patriots.
Yeah. Just I
I
just
don't
want
think
to
that's
see
gonna
how
be a
Cam
good game.
I want to see how Cam looks more than anything.
Okay. I wonder if they're gonna have a strong running game.
Yeah.
Um, there is talk. I don't know like how close it is to happening that the Cowboys game and the was it 49ers
Oh
game.
yeah, because of the air.
Yeah, the air quality. Um, I'm like, it's not even COVID.
You
Like it's
can't
the
just
air quality.
close up your dome.
Um, a lot of those what's it called West Coast teams because of the good weather they have
Yeah.
open.
You can't like build something. It's $1 billion
A tarp, put a tarp.
it's a
Let's go to
$1 billion
Walmart.
playpen. Just cover it up.
You got a football field size
Throw
tarp,
some light bulbs up there, like you can see.
porch lights.
Yeah, but yeah, it should be good.
If it's that much of an issue, I don't know why the league wouldn't just
Play somewhere else.
no like make the home game like a away game, because fans are not the biggest issue because more, like 90% of the teams are not going to have any fans this
Yeah,
week.
I'm surprised the NFL's really looks like it might work. Like I've been saying this whole before the preseason or whatever that it wasn't gonna work, but looks like the COVID numbers are going down just in time.
Well,
So
the Kansas City with 16,000,
hmm
that's going to be the second most in attendance. I think the Panthers, they're going to have 20,
yeah,
and then everyone else is under them. Like a lot of teams going to have 6,000, which is nothing in the stadium.
sure.
And then a lot of the rest of the remaining teams are going to have no one for the month of September, and then they're going to reevaluate after that.
Yeah. So I mean, looks like COVID is pretty much done for.
It's
So
not done. We're just in the back burner.
yeah, I'm like
It's
okay.
there. It's there.
I'll get sick later.
It's
Okay.
there. Now people are treating it like the flu because it's there.
Yeah, the numbers are low, so it's whatever. And then I guess Dak Prescott, he was saying he was battling mental health in a television interview. We were talking about that off air. A lot of people are talking about mental health more now.
Yeah,
I think that was good for him to talk about openly.
It is, and I was had this thought about it that in sports it's still not as acceptable as it is in every other industry. Like when it comes to music, actors, they're so open about it, but they're more open about it than sports.
I don't think it's like brand. I don't think it's like an old thing though. I think it's starting to become
It
like
is, but still,
something that's open.
But sports is the last one that's taking more of it because sports, a lot of it says is mentality, how prepared you are. So if you talk about it, it's like, okay, how does that affect your mentality on the field?
Yeah, and then I guess Skip Bayless had got criticized for his comments on that.
Yeah,
he
saying, basically said, "Do your job."
Yeah, he was saying don't talk about it to like everyone. Just if you need to talk about it like a small group of people.
What goes to my point. There's never going to be like an artist, like a musician that goes out there that says it, and no one's going to tell him or her we shouldn't have said that because it doesn't affect their job as much as does like a pro athlete because of what it involves.
I don't know, because like artists with like super fans, they could be like, yeah, that sucks, but where's our music?
What artist has got feedback about being open like that?
Kanye?
No, he didn't get feedback.
What are you talking about?
The bipolar?
What are you talking about feedback? Like,
you're talking about criticism about
they're
bipolar?
like, oh, people are like, oh, that's not true. You're just saying they're using it as a crutch. Like, what are you talking about?
That's way different. They thought he was lying compared to like you shouldn't have said that.
That's not a critique.
It's a different type of critique.
Oh, okay.
People
that's the one I gave you.
People just said he was lying.
Okay.
That's a difference.
Oh, okay. Anyway, to answer your question, Kanye.
But like I said, any reason come at Kanye.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway,
any reason.
So I mean, and then Fox was like, they didn't really put out a full statement. They're just like, we don't agree.
Yeah,
that lets you know where Skip Bayless sits as far as ratings.
So, I was laughing because I was reading that article that Fox said that, like, was in the last paragraph of that like page-long statement.
Yeah.
His contract's up this year. I'm like, why'd y'all mention that?
Skip.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm like, why'd y'all mention that,
Yeah.
Fox? Like, is there?
Oh, they don't want to. They don't want to ruffle his feathers.
But like, whatever happened to like that disclaimer? I see some shows with the disclaimer. I know Colin Cowherd has it, where it says these views are not represented by Fox.
It's probably somewhere, but like I watch it on YouTube. The show's already started by that time.
So I blame YouTube.
Yeah, that's funny. Like, yo, his contract's up. We ain't trying to piss him off. We'd like him back.
Yeah, and it is what it is. Like, I don't know who thought it was Fox. It's Skip Bayless. It's his opinion.
Yeah.
But that was good that he talked about it. Did you see the interview?
I didn't. That's like one of the few ones I missed.
So I saw it like I had to watch like 4 or 5 videos of it because it was like in
the Dak Prescott one or the Skip Bayless one.
No, the Dak Prescott.
I didn't see that one. No,
because it was all over like different things. Because they interviewed his family. That was one where he talked about it. Well, so the reason why he talked about it is that he fell into that depression and everything was because of his brother's suicide
and COVID and all that stuff.
And so he talked about it and I mean, it is what it is, and there's nothing wrong with it. It was a low point in his life. Like he lost his mother. Now he lost his his brother, and he was talking about how he basically had it set up for his brother to move to Dallas to be close to him.
Yeah,
he's basically said there was no reason to be where he is. He's like, I was gonna get him on his feet here, and there's a lot of opportunities in Dallas for him. Like, and all that happened. And he was talking. Then his other brothers came in, and all of them basically went through the same thing, and talking about it like it's depression, but it's not. I don't think it was depression like what maybe Skip talked about. It was like depression of losing someone close to you. Like, I mean, you're sad, like you lost someone close to you.
And I think it's all about perspective because Skip has talked about that too.
Yeah,
he's talked about where he's lost his mom, and then the next day went on air and did his job. So he has like a different mindset completely.
He's also older, and to be fair, those older mindsets are a little like,
it's not even
get
like
your job done.
I guess so, but I don't know when his mom like passed away. But even like people are just different in general. Not everybody's the same, regardless of age. So I think he was just seeing it from like his own perspective and not really taking into account his.
With that criticism though, he can literally say, I did that. I lost my mother and I came into work. So he has that too.
Yeah.
Well, I did what I preached.
Yeah, and he's used that before, but I don't know. Yeah, it was just a little weird for him to kind of brush it aside than anything. But I guess everybody is entitled to their opinion.
And I think the interview made it worse because it was like you talked to Dak, but you had the brother there, and the dad there, so it's just like the whole family became more emotional,
bigger than it had to be.
Yeah, like like Dak could be strong by himself, but his brother's crying, and his dad, you're like, oh shit, this is gonna hit me.
Yeah, it kind of makes you uncomfortable, like, oh no, I guess I gotta cry. And then before we wrap up, so did you hear about Odell flying out a young lady for shits and giggles?
Little emphasis on the shit.
Man. So apparently, I don't know if it's true, but he didn't really help his case. He flew out some chick, and he was like, "Hey, what's your fecal matter look like?" And put that thing on my chest. I don't know exactly how it went.
Did you see I don't know if it was an interview or what it was.
Yeah, it was on Adam 22.
Oh, so did you see it? He's like, no, she was like, and before I met him,
he wanted pictures and stuff, right?
He wanted pictures.
Yeah.
What'd you do? I sent him pictures. Well, how? She's like, I try to make it sexy.
That's so nasty. Like, oh my God. Like,
but like, I don't understand. Like, if there's any type of proof or like there was text messages or whatever, how they ever exchange words. She's like, well, this allegedly happened. I'm like, what do you like? What do you mean allegedly? You're not a third party. You're supposed to be. You're the one that was gonna take a shit on him. How's this allegedly?
That's so like
when she threw that word in, it was just like like what do you mean? Allegedly?
That's so weird. Like, I mean, it's hard to like defend Odell on this one. He plays for the Browns. Like his
he wanted to go to the Browns.
His response was like, shit don't phase me or something. Like, what do you
So like
say?
it wasn't that's a lie. It was just like it doesn't phase me. Like
Yeah,
do you what like it doesn't phase you because you don't care if people know about it or what? It was just funny. Like his response, he didn't deny it.
it was so crazy. But yeah, it was so crazy. He was like, and then like people on Twitter are just
Bro.
they not helping. There's like the Patrick from SpongeBob emoji
Oh yeah,
with chocolate on his mouth. Like there was
bro.
like waking up seeing he's trending on Twitter. Like, oh my god. But I mean, this is another thing Odell's getting popped for, but it's not like the worst thing in the world. It's stuff that you can laugh at, you know?
His and like everyone else, man, he went to the Browns and his career is kind of like it's it's digressing. He's not the star he was. He's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know what, like for me, you know what gives me a good pulse of the league is fantasy football.
Oh yeah.
Because we do the draft. I remember a couple years ago, like Odell, you want to get him in the second round, like because you don't want to lose him.
Uh,
I think Odell went in the fourth round, third, fourth round, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but third, fourth round, that's adding like another probably like 10, 15 picks, which is a lot.
yeah.
When it comes to draft, that's a lot of picks in between where he was and where he is now.
But I think the Browns overall are still trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
So it's not really an
Bro, I
Odell
mean, the Browns
sole
have been
fault.
saying that forever.
I mean, they just got good pieces.
There've always been we're trying to put the pieces like
Oh,
they've always been like
you're a
that.
Cowboy fan, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
they've
That's crazy
always been
though.
like that.
But I mean, I
At least
expect
Cowboys win more games.
okay. I
Bro,
expect them to
I
have a
didn't
good
come here to get shit on with Cowboys. I'm
don't
not
you
Odell.
don't you Odell on
I'm
me?
not Odell.
Like yeah. I expect them to have a good season.
The
So
Browns,
yeah.
I expect them to have.
I expect them to bounce back.
They're gonna have 7 wins.
Same as the Cowboys last year. Okay. But yeah,
I hate you.
that's funny. But yeah, shout out to Odell and all his endeavors.
So who's gonna be your surprise team of the year?
Surprise?
Yeah, not necessarily like, of course, like go deep in the playoffs, but they're gonna have more wins. They're gonna look a lot better than expected.
I don't know. I've only been looking at Buccaneers. I don't
I
know.
think they're expected to do well.
Yeah, they are. I
I'm
can't say the Ravens because they're already.
Yeah,
I can't say the Bengals. Can't. Steelers, I guess.
Bengals. You don't know. I mean, maybe the Bengals. I'm gonna say
I'm gonna go Steelers.
I'm gonna say Arizona.
I wanted to say Cardinals. I went with Steelers.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Arizona. I want them to have a nice year.
Yeah.
But they've been in a tough. They're in a tough division for a while. You have the Rams, 49ers, and Seahawks. That's all of those teams are. They always have someone contending. Like that's a
Yeah.
strong division.
And then before we switch, who do you got winning? Browns or Ravens?
Ravens without a doubt. You?
Yeah, same.
Depends on what Odell comes with.
Nah, I can't help. I can't. I gotta jump off that
Do
ship.
something in my face, right?
I got pink eye. Dolphins or Patriots? I think that's gonna be a good game.
Dolphins or Patriots?
I'm gonna go Dolphins.
I'm gonna go
I want to go Dolphins because I want to go Patriots, but yeah, I gotta
I'm
go
gonna go
Dolphins.
Patriots, but I think James White's gonna have a really good game.
I'm gonna go Dolphins.
Patriots. Cam Newton's gonna open up for a win. He has that hunger for the win.
Okay, who doesn't?
Dolphins.
Jets versus Bronco or versus Bills.
Bills.
I'm gonna go Bills too. I think they're gonna win their division.
Yeah, I hope they do. What's his name? Allen is. I like what he did last
He
year.
looked good last year.
So I expect better.
Seahawks or Falcons?
I think it's gonna be a good game. Falcons.
I'm gonna go Seahawks.
I'm gonna
Russell
go
Wilson's
Falcons.
being paid to win, not lose.
I mean, Julio Jones has got a good contract, so I think
Nah.
Julio Jones is gonna go off.
Cowboys or Rams?
Cowboys, without a doubt. Book it. Write it down.
What are you booking?
I'll sign it.
Okay.
It's done.
And then you got the Buccaneers and Saints. Did you say Saints?
Saints.
Okay, I got Buccaneers. And the rest of the teams are playing as well. Um,
Who has Monday Night Football? That's always a good game to watch.
what date is that?
Look at after the Cowboys, because Cowboys have the late game, so it's after them.
Tomorrow. Oh, so
So
it's like Steelers, Giants,
yeah,
and then you got Titans and Broncos. I go Titans.
yes, Steelers and Titans.
Yeah.
So, man, but that's one thing I love about football that I don't think you ever get in the NBA, because NBA has 80 games.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to football, it is really any given Sunday, because a good team can have an off game, and that's like you only have 16 games to get your record.
Yeah,
So to me, that's why I like football over basketball.
that's cool. I like player empowerment. And then you got switching to basketball. Rockets are on their last leg. Looks like they're playing today. They're down 3-1 to the Lakers. You think they're gonna get another win before they get
3-1 or 3-2?
I think it's 3-1. Yeah, it's 3-1. They haven't won one game. They haven't won more than one game.
You sure it's not 3-2?
Look it up. So do you think they're gonna win one more game? Do you think they're gonna win a second game before they're escorted out?
You no longer belong in the bubble.
Oh, they're playing right now.
Yeah,
13-2.
13-2
What's the
Yeah,
score?
it is 3-1.
I know.
13-1. I mean 13-2. That's the score.
Lakers have won 3 games. Rockets have won 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Who you got?
Lakers.
Okay,
Who said Houston was gonna win?
Johnny.
Who said small ball's the way to go?
Johnny.
Who said you don't need a rebound?
The guy that's been escorted out.
You have something in common with Houston.
Man.
Bro, so I look at the last game. They doubled their rebounds. It was like 25
LeBron
had 52.
LeBron had 15 rebounds.
And all of Houston had 25,
Like,
24.
You're little.
like
That's crazy.
There's a picture of McGee and Dwight Howard bored on the bench because it's like
Yeah.
like
They're basically taking these games off. Do you think this is going to change up the coaching? Because what was reported was if they lost to OKC, then everybody was getting fired. But now they finna lose the Lakers, and now everybody's still getting fired. Like, do you think D'Antoni's done? Because he don't got a new contract coming up.
either he's done, which I wouldn't be surprised, or they're just gonna be like our experiment was a dud. Like we need to go buy a center. We have to go buy a center. Like they're not gonna go in they're not gonna go in next year with the same type of small ball concept.
Yeah. That's crazy. Like, part of me want him to stay, but then the other part of me wants him to get a new coach because, like, it's not working.
I don't think it's. I don't know how much it is on the coach. I think he's coaching decently with the players, with the type of team, the scheme they're running.
I feel like they're one-dimensional.
If he gets a better stretch from 3 to 5, I feel like it'll be different games.
How'd they look when they had a center?
They look better. They didn't win it, but they look better.
Did they get this far with the center?
I forgot what round they got knocked out last year.
I thought it was the first. No, I don't remember either. Did they play the Warriors? They got knocked out by the Warriors, right?
I think so.
Maybe it was the first round. No, it was maybe the first or
Let
second.
me see.
But yeah, I don't know. Part of me wants a new coach because Rockets are like my next pick after LeBron retires.
So Warriors. Okay. I got you. Speaking of coaches, was it Oklahoma City? New coach and everything?
Yeah, they're getting a new coach. Did they already get one? Man, they talking about blowing up everything. Like, I feel like Oklahoma City is where people just pass through. Like, they've had so many like great stars, but they haven't done anything. Have you noticed that?
No.
Oh,
Well, I'm looking. So Houston got past the first round for sure. They beat Utah.
so it was the second round?
I'm checking, but they got past the first round.
Yeah, I think it was the second round.
Oh, okay, here it is. Oh, look, a little nice, nice little chart. Where we at? So, yeah, they lost in the second round,
Dang. So they still aren't progressing
and they won more games, 4-2. They lost 4-2 against Golden State.
with the center.
That's better season. They won 2.
Dang. Yeah, I don't know. Heads will roll. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. OKC is definitely a bad place to play basketball.
So, okay, I say OKC and recently Houston,
I
but
like Houston though. Houston's not that bad. Like they just need better. It's probably the coach. It's probably the more I think about it.
you won't know till you get a new coach.
Yeah, the more I think about it, like James Harden is a superstar. I don't know why people are bashing Russell Westbrook. He's not bad.
Westbrook.
Yeah, throw in a center, and I mean, you might have something with a new coach.
Yeah, we'll
So
see. I mean, regardless, there's gonna be a shakeup this year with that team.
yeah, it's sad to
Oklahoma got
see.
a shakeup.
They
Milwaukee
always have a
has to have a
shakeup though.
shakeup, dude. Milwaukee, Giannis is wasting. He's wasting years. He's wasting years there.
I feel like you could say that in any market that isn't winning with their superstar.
Nah, man. But the way they losing, man. The way they're losing. It's
They
just
lost in the
bad.
first round
Last
last year too. Ah,
Like
they
it's
trended.
the way. Like
But then, how much do you put on Giannis as far as them winning or them getting bumped out?
no, last year they went to the conference finals and they lost to
To
Toronto.
Okay, so they're regressing.
Yep.
So, like, how much of that do you put on Giannis?
No, I put that on the team. So that's why I'm saying like
Giannis was out and they
it's
won.
it's not all on Giannis. Like
I know. So I
it's a
said,
team sport.
how much
but
do you put on Giannis?
I think he did what he can. What else do you want him to do with it?
Oh, okay. Take over the game, I guess.
Well,
Get
what did
better.
he average?
I mean, you can average a lot of points, but
So like,
still
what do you want
lose
him
the
to
game.
do?
Be more efficient.
He's efficient. He likes to paint.
Be more better.
It's not about points. It's about the W.
Exactly. And then
Where would you want him to? So what is with this unfollowing? Like, when did that become a thing?
yeah.
Like unfollowing. Oh,
Is that part of like your exit?
like
Like your exit interview?
no?
Like,
It's because you don't want an exit interview.
is there like a checkbox you go through?
Like
He unfollows the team, everybody except for his brother, and I guess he wants out now. Is
Yeah.
he got one more year, or is this his last year? No, I think he has one more year. So like you're a little early, buddy. Like what are you gonna do? Get traded? I'm confused. How's this gonna play out?
I don't know, man. Like,
Is this how they do it in Greece? Like this is bad business. I got you for one more year. You better follow me, buddy. Like what are we doing?
let me see for the contract. Yeah, one more year.
And then, yeah, I don't know. I think Milwaukee's a good place for him. We're like thinking like
He needs a better team. He needs more people around him.
so get more people. Like where can he go where it's his team and they have like a lot of people?
Where he can go with his team or where he can go to win?
Where can he go where it's his team?
He can go to win with the Mavericks.
It's not gonna be his. That's not my question. It's not gonna be his team.
Do you want it? Do you want it always your team? Look
If
at
I'm
Dwayne
supposed to
Wade.
be-
Dwayne Wade took a step back for LeBron and he won 2 rings.
But he won one without him, and it was his team.
He had Shaq. Leave him alone.
Was it his team or was
He
it
needs
Shaq's?
Shaq.
Was it Shaq's team?
It was their team.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh
so
my God.
he needs his Dwayne Wade.
Is
'Cause
Scottie
he's
Pippen?
Shaq. He's Shaq, so he needs his Dwayne Wade.
Oh, I got you.
You got to find him his
He
Dwayne
needs
Wade.
his Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay, that seems to be a trending thing when it comes to him now. That
Yeah.
sucks. Like, damn.
He needs help. And to be fair, he's the only one doing it by himself. Like all the other teams have a pair. Except Boston, they're pretty even.
Doesn't he got Middleton or somebody?
You're gonna put him in that
I guess Middleton's a bum these days. Like, okay, buddy, that doesn't make sense. Everybody got to pair except for him. Okay.
Everyone has a next level star with them. He has a lot of good players.
Okay. Toronto looked really good before they got bounced out.
Yeah.
I was booking for them. I was hoping they.
So
they
who
got
said
far.
they didn't need Kawhi? Somebody said that
They don't need Kawhi to do what?
to win it all. Remember in
I
our
don't- I
chat,
don't-
someone said that.
I don't think they do.
You don't think they need Kawhi to win it all?
What team? So that like what? It doesn't make sense. Kawhi specifically?
Yeah.
I don't think so. So they can't win without another superstar.
You don't think they need Kawhi to win a championship?
They can get Kevin Durant and win. I don't think
No,
Kawhi
with the
is the
team-
sole
The
person.
team they have right now, can they win a championship? You think?
Well, obviously not. They got
That's my
escorted
point.
out.
Like people said,
don't
Toronto
understand.
didn't need Kawhi. They obviously do.
I don't know. I mean, it's all hypothetical here. They could have lost with Kawhi too. Kawhi had a good shot. I mean, I mean,
Okay.
a lot of
Speaking of Kawhi, man, those Clippers, bro, they don't like back to back.
wins, like
Yeah, I mean this translate from the season because
back to back good
because
performances.
Kawhi didn't like back to back games, so I guess you don't like back to back wins.
Yeah, like bro, we gave you a day in between. He's like, I need 2 days.
Yeah, it's not about the days; it's about games. I don't like
Yeah.
back to back games.
So I'm surprised they lost that game to Denver.
My pick is still strong.
That's true. I was like, oh wow, your guy's still in there. That's cool. So who plays today? So we got the Lakers playing today. I got Lakers, and then Clippers play tomorrow, right?
Yeah, there's less and less games just because people already been
Dropping.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it today, and then tomorrow you have the Clippers at 12.
Dang. So I got Lakers, and then I guess I'll go Denver.
I'm gonna go Denver tomorrow. Then
You have to go Denver.
and then
That
Denver's
was your
gonna win
pick.
Game 7.
That doesn't make sense.
And then Denver's gonna eliminate the Lakers, and then they're gonna beat Boston for the championship.
Okay. Like you have no. That was your pick. You can't say anything else. Like
Hey,
you're forced.
I did not go with the common pick. I went with kind of like an off pick in the preseason. And they're still strong.
Weren't they number 2 last year?
Number 3, I think.
Oh, okay. So I guess picking somebody in top 3 is not common.
I mean, the other teams were still good, and then other teams got better. Like the Clippers got better, the Lakers got better. So,
well, they got LeBron.
I mean, AD. They had LeBron.
I mean, they got a healthy LeBron.
I'm just saying, I rephrase it because they had LeBron last year.
I mean, he was injured. Now he's
they had him. They got AD.
Sure, but anyway,
real MVP of the team.
Before we wrap up, let me say best of luck to the Lakers and their MVP LeBron, the real best player. Where can people check us out at, Roy?
YouTube, comment, subscribe, hit that like button, and then you can check out the audio on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere podcasts are being streamed, even iHeartRadio.
Oh, nice. We got a promotion there. And no matter where you listen at, don't forget to check us out. Turn up the mic.